So I wanted to do quick pros and cons of the Jawbone icon. And the first pro is the online features. I like that you can plug this in via USB to a Mac or PC and change settings as well as charge right from a computer. I also like the numerous adapters for the ears. I think it comes with something that's going to fit and be comfortable to just about anybody. I'm also happy with the long range. I'm getting anywhere between about 25-30 feet all the way up to 50 feet if I don't have a wall in between me and the phone. I also like that it'll play on two devices. I can have this on my iPad playing music, and then if my phone rings, I can switch right over and pick up the call, which is pretty neat. And the noise cancellation, or noise assassin as Jawbone calls it, is really, really good. It's got this little, for lack of a better word, I'll call it a nipple, that touches your cheek, and it senses your mouth movement and knows when you're talking and drowns out all the noise around you, which is pretty neat. I also like it's got a battery indicator. This button on the top serves as really the only button on here, and when you just have the Jawbone on, you push this button down and a little voice comes on and tells you how many hours of talk time you have, which is pretty neat. And then, as I'll show you here on the iPad or iPhone, that little indicator, let's see, right there, is the Jawbone battery level. So any device you have this, any Apple device you have this hooked up to, or I believe BlackBerry, will show the battery level of the Jawbone, which is pretty neat. So on my iPhone it shows the same thing, which is pretty cool. And I also like the fact that the only flashing light on here is on the back for the charge light, and it also shows when you're trying to sync. I also like that. I'm not a big fan of Bluetooth headsets that have blinking and flashing lights on the outside. I don't like them to be real flashy. The cons are the short battery life. It advertises 4.5 hours. After full charge and I push this button down, it says I have 4 hours, not 4.5. And I'm probably getting somewhere between 3 to 4 hours of talk time, which is fairly good, but I'm using it all day, so that's going to require 2 charges a day. So I would like a little bit longer battery life. And I found that the adapters, the ear adapters, aren't quite as comfortable as some of the competitors, like the Jabra ear gel, I think is a real comfortable one. And this, after about 45 minutes of it in your ear kind of starts to hurt. But it does do a good job of keeping this device in your ear. So overall, I think it's an excellent buy. I got mine for $50 on sale, and I think that was well worth the money. Now what I'm going to do is quickly show you how you put this in. You basically just set it in your ear facing downward, and then you twist it up to your ear, and that kind of locks it in. And what else I'm going to do is, I've got my iPhone here. I'm going to do a little range test, and I'm going to kind of walk away from it here. Maybe I'll keep it in the background. And what it'll do is it actually will beep in my ear when I've lost reception. So I still have reception here, and I still have reception. Now I've got a wall between me, and now I've got a few more walls between me. And I just lost it just now. I heard a little pinging in my ear. And then when you get back into cell service, it's going to ping again, letting you know that you're back in, well, not cell service, but that you're back in range of your phone. And I just got a beep here that it's back in range. So that's about how far you can go. So again, that was probably easily 50 feet with about 3 walls between, which is pretty good. Okay, so we went over the pros and cons, and I'm going to go over the functions here that it has. Right here is a little toggle switch, an on and off switch, and then this top button, like I said, is the only button on this device. And basically what that does is it answers and ends phone calls. If you tap it twice, it redials. If you hold it down, you can speak and say call mom or text mom, and whatever function you want to do there. And then you'll see it's also got the connector here, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like while it's charging. Just go ahead and plug it in, and then we will plug it into a wall, and then you can see it's charging there. When it's done charging, what it's going to do is that red light is just going to turn white, and that's it. And this is kind of a flexible cable, so you can kind of move it around, and that's that. So when I have the Jawbone plugged in and log into my Talk account, it shows I've got my Jawbone icon connected, it's charging, and it's syncing. So if there were any updates here, it would run updates for the Jawbone, and it shows here software is up to date. I can go to advanced settings, and I can change the Jawbone name, so how it's going to appear on a tablet or my phone. So when I go to connect the Bluetooth, it shows how it's going to appear, so I could change that to my name. Voice announcements, caller ID, it's going to show, or it's going to speak the person's name. Well, name, actually with the icon, it's just a phone number, it can't do the name. Different connections, this is where it allows you to connect multiple devices at one time, so I could have my iPad connected listening to music and my iPhone connected at the same time, so that's where you're allowed to do that. And then different noise assassin settings, and the other neat thing is they have different sounds, so different voices, different languages. So when the person's speaking to you and telling you about your battery life, it's telling you, different types of themes and languages. They also have different apps, and I really haven't tapped into this yet, but it basically just seems like it's, apps for the Android, since iPhone and iPad are already pretty well set up to handle this device. Any extras that they recommend having. And then any current deals, and then every so often you come in here and they have a new sale. So yeah, overall it's pretty neat. The updates are kind of cool. Not sure how effective they are, but it seems like anytime there's an update, it's usually something to do with the noise assassin technology. And they have the support tab and everything like that. So overall, pretty neat.